Hey guys, it's Targon here doing another Raid Shadow Legends video. And I wanted to get in here and talk about just some strategies specifically for this current fusion for Walking Tomb Dreng. Um, I was going to do this video last night, and then I thought, let me at least just wait and see what the champion chase is going to look like in terms of the marks you have to get to. So I am here on my third account. And, I'm probably actually not going to go for this just because I was not prepared shard-wise. Um, so I don't really have the shards. If it was a 2x on Ancients, I'd probably just go ahead and empty them. But, 2x on 3 Voids, not really very good odds. So here's the thing. And let me go ahead and pull up the image here. So we've got currently, it's Friday, so we just started the Dragon Tournament yesterday along with the Champion Training event. Champion Chase and Classic Arena starting now. And in about a week, we're going to start the Summon Rush. Okay, so those are the two big ones to look at in terms of, can I get the fusion? Okay, so obviously, there's plenty of other ways to get fragments, but we have a total of 15 fragments in the Champion Chase and then 20 in the Summon Rush. Now, the Champion Chase, I'll just show you up here. And guys, this is standard for fragment fusions, right? Champion Chase, as far back as I can remember doing these, it's always been 5 and then 10. All right, and usually the 5 is right around here with the 750 range. And then we've got 2,500 for the last 10. Okay, so realistically, to be able to get this, it's like 10 epic pulls worth, right? Obviously, with the voids, they give you a little bit more chances. But so if you're really short on shards, getting to here is going to be tough. Now, you can use mystery shards, right? If you've accumulated a whole bunch of them. And fortunately, we were actually coinciding with a champion training event. So it makes sense. Like, you've got to pull food anyways. May as well pick up some of these points and just dump extra food into your champion training. But this can still be somewhat of a high mark. The Summon Rush is usually more difficult, actually. Usually it's 5 and then 15. I think usually the 5 is around like the 1,750 mark. I think is usually like where they put that. And then the remaining 15 is upwards around like the 5,000 mark, I think. Now you can skip 15 fragments if you're not going to win any tournaments. There's 115 that you can get just by completing every task. So if every tournament you're collecting all those fragments, every event you're collecting all the fragments aside from the Summon Rush and the Champion Chase, you can choose to either skip the tail end of the Summon Rush or skip the Champion Chase event altogether. Okay? That's, again, if you get all the fragments from everything else. So typically I find it's actually better to skip the last part of the Summon Rush. Champion Chase can be a little bit easier because you can get extra points by fusing other champions. So like I might just level up some of these guys in order to fuse Justicar. Okay, that would be 50 points. Not a ton, but it's there. And then if you have everybody to fuse Relic Keeper, that's another 250 points. So, if you can fuse both of those, that's 300 points. If you can fuse Broadmaw, right? Each of these ones is 50 points, and fusing him would be 350, I believe. And if you have fragments available, you can fuse them and get even more points for the Champion Chase. Okay, so that's part of what makes Champion Chase a little bit easier, especially if you're prepared for it. Right now, I'm not. I don't have some of the champions I need for some of the bigger levels of points here. If I wanted to, I could go ahead and try and use all of these, okay? But so typically, especially if you have a fair amount of void shards, I'd say probably worth trying and get the 15 total from this event, and that way you don't have to go quite as high on the summon rush. Usually summon rush, if you got to get a little bit shy of 2,000 just to get the 5, and that's all you need to get, you can usually get that with, like, if you have one sacred and then 1,000 mystery shards, you can do it. uh but getting to that 5,000 mark that they sometimes put those extra fragments at is really hard, because unless you've got a bunch of sacreds lying around, it can be pretty difficult. All right, so let's go back into this. So if you're going to be short on shards, but you think you have a chance, you can pick up extra fragments by winning some of the tournaments. All right, so on this account, I was wondering if I might be able to pick up a few extra fragments, because I knew I'd be short on the shards. And so I'm just looking here. I haven't gone all out with Dragon just yet. This is not too bad. Obviously, we've still got 2 days to go, so these guys might shoot up, but it's also possible that these guys here are just collecting the fragments and they're going to be on their way, so I might be able to do a push to win some fragments at the end. Now, you may notice as well, tomorrow there is going to be a Dungeon Diver event that starts, okay? And that's going to cover the back end of this Dragon tournament and the front end of the Ice Golem tournament. So we want to use our energy strategically, right? If I was to go and start chasing this Dragon tournament right now, I would be blowing all my energy, and then Dungeon Divers is going to come up, and usually you got to get to like about 3,000, I think, for Dungeon Diver fragments. Actually, maybe even more, because there might be, wait, is it, I forget, is it, how many fragments is it? It's only going to be 5. Okay. So yeah, so it's going to just be, it's not going to be super high. I think it's like 3,000, but still, you're going to want to make sure that you can get that. So right now, today, I would say go with champion training, right? We've got the summon rush. That way you're using your shards. See how high up you can get doing that. Do your champion training. And then tomorrow, once Dungeon Diver starts, that's when you start hitting the dragon. All right? And so it's going to really be kind of that same thing later on as well, because I think well, so like when Ice Golem starts, that's when you're going to hit that as well to finish up the Dungeon Diver, because then the champion training tournament starts at the back end of Ice Golem. So you want to just kind of look ahead at this. What are the events that are coming up that I'm going to need to use energy for? The next Dungeon Diver coincides really nicely with the Fire Knight tournament, so you're going to be able to pick up. So again, I'd say do your champion training. After Ice Golem, do your champion training like on Thursday and Friday until the Fire Knight tournament starts, and then you can start doing Fire Knight along with Dungeon Diver. It's going to make it a lot easier. Artifact enhancement events are pretty straightforward, right? We just need the 5 fragments. You just got to upgrade your gear. And then the Spider tournament and the final Dungeon Diver tournament are going to coincide. So you can really get, for the most part, most of the points you need for the Dungeon Diver event by doing the tournaments. So just be careful that with these other ones that you don't rush ahead with the dungeon and forget that you have the Dungeon Divers. Okay, so that's pretty much it in terms of where to use your energy, where to use your shards. I do think this guy's going to be worth it. It's worth really evaluating where you're sitting. So again, this would not be impossible shard-wise if this was a 2x on the ancients. It would still be tough, but like I'd have to get lucky for this champion chase on the ancient shards, but really with the voids, it's not going to go. Ideally you want to have a few more shards than this, so it might be worth, if you're not sure about the shards and you're looking ahead at like the current dragon tournament and saying, you know what, I don't think I'm going to be able to win that tournament and uh, still have the energy left for everything else. I'd say, guys, you can sit this one out. He's going to be good, but he's not going to be like go all in for even a chance to get him. It might be better to save for the next one, okay? And the next champion might be even better than this guy. Like this guy's going to be really good for Hydra. He's going to be really good for Spider. Um, Outside of that, still has some use. He's going to be usable all around, but not like one of those champions that's going to carry you through a bunch of the early and mid game content necessarily. He can help, but it's like if you can get a good shielder, for example, or like a protector champion that keeps your team going, or a reviver. Who knows what they're going to throw out next. Somebody else might actually help carry your entire team a little bit better. He is going to be a good healer, but um, you can afford to sit this one out and look at future fusions instead. Okay, so hope that you're able to do it. If you're not sure, you know, maybe ask some questions, post like what you've got in terms of shards. I'll try to get back to you on it. Um, you know, and if you really want this champion and you want to go all in, you can still go for him. Just know that you're gonna have to spend some additional shards to pick up at least 5 fragments from the summon rush, and that's gonna take a fair amount of shards even to just get the 5. Okay, and that's assuming you get all the ones here. All right, so hope this was helpful. Hope this helps you think as to how to spend your shards and your energy here for this fusion. All right, please like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.